APC wins Ekiti governorship election. President Muhammadu Buhari congratulates Ekiti State Governor-elect. As correspondent reports on the protection of child rights and welfare. Hello, this is Panorama reaching you live from the NTA and Network Center. I am Mina Adobe Okwobasi. Candidates of the All Progressive Congress APC, Oyebanji, has won the Ekiti State Governorship election conducted Saturday, June 18, 2022. Oyebanji polled 187,057 votes to defeat 15 other contestants. The returning officer and the Vice Chancellor, University of Abuja, Professor Kayode Adembowal, declared the APC candidate winner at the end of collation of results. The election was adjudged to have been peaceful and orderly. Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari has congratulated Biodun Oyebanji, a candidate of the All Progressive Congress APC, as he is declared governor-elect in Saturday's Ekiti State gubernatorial election. The president said the victory is well-deserved, considering Oyebanji's contributions to the development of the state and party before his nomination as a standard-bearer, urging him, however, to be magnanimous in victory in the interests of the people of the state. A statement issued by the special advisor to the president, Femi Adesina, says President Buhari also rejoices with the APC chairman, Abdullahi Adamu, and the National Working Committee for the victory, the first under the tenure of the newly elected executives of the party. He urged all APC members across and outside the country to see this as a good omen for the 2023 general elections and work assiduously to ensure the party's victory, continuing the trend with Osun State next month's July. President Buhari also felicited the people of Ekiti State for the smooth conduct of election, affirming that they are the real victors as they have been able to freely choose their leader for the next 4 years. He lauded the Independent National Electoral Commission and the law enforcement agencies for the preparations put in place, urging them to keep the momentum for upcoming elections. The Office of the President of the Senate said it has seen a video on the social media in which the President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, purportedly announced his defection from the ruling All Progressive Congress APC to the People's Democratic Party PDP. A statement by the special advisor to the President of the Senate on Media and Publicity, Ola Awodiye, explained that the original video clip was mischievously edited to a clip of the President of the Senate reading the letter by Senator Muhammadu Adamu Alero of Kebbi State, informing senators of Buhari of defection from the APC to the PDP. The statement states that Senator Ahmed Lawan is a committed member of the APC and has no reason whatsoever to renounce his membership of the party. Pursuant to the provision of Part 5, Paragraph 2 of the Electoral Guidelines of the People's Democratic Party, the National Working Committee has approved the nomination of some party stakeholders to serve on the Deputy Governorship Candidate Screening Committee for the purpose of the screening and verification of nominated Deputy Governorship candidates in all 28 states where governorship elections are scheduled. The party's National Publicity Secretary, Debo Ologunamba, in a statement says the 9-member committee is chaired by a former national chairman of the PDP, Dr. Okwesileze Wodo, with Dr. Akilu Idambawa serving as secretary. The screening exercise, which will hold at the PDP National Secretariat in Abuja on Wednesday, June 22nd, 2022, is mandatory for all nominated deputy governorship candidates of the party. The Independent National Electoral Commissioner of Enugu State has expressed worries on the number of double registrations in the state. Mr. Mecca Onanamado stated this at a press briefing on continuous voter registration. The report.
Since the commencement of the online continuous voter registration on 28 June 2021, the turnout of voters in Enugu has been abysmal, as over 20,000 double registrations was found out from the above 71,000 people that registered. For this reason, the Enugu INEC Commissioner, Emeka Onanamado, advised eligible voters not to register again if they are very sure they have registered before.
From the first week of June 2023, the CVR point in Enugu started recording huge turnout of fresh registrants and registered voters.
He said INEC has mobilized more men and materials to cover more areas because of the surge of eligible voters coming out to register.
I'm helping them to do transfer, correction, change of name, relocation of unit or ward, either from state to state, ward to another ward, or unit to another unit.
With your own phone or with their own?
I can use my own, use their own to help them, since they are, since there are so many. I just tell them what to do so that they will do it faster and just go.
We are ready to wait if it takes a week or more. That's what I should get out.
It's just you that be going, everybody just needs to register right now.
Why?
Because we need a change.
Because I want to vote in the right person that I want. I don't want to be complaining. When I will sit down at home, I won't vote, yet I'll keep complaining. So I just want to vote this time.
The issue of extortion from the public, the REC said it is not INEC staff and challenged the media or individuals who have concrete evidence to come up with such allegations. Some of the people who came out to register while speaking to NTA News said they are registering because they want to entrench good governance.
Today, we have over 31,426, but out of that number, when we did the first cleanup of office, over 46% of those who registered who are double registered. What does that leave us with? It leaves us with the impression that true people are coming to register again.
At the moment, the deadline ends June 30th unless otherwise extended by INEC. In Enugu, James Parikocha, NTA News.
A cross-section of Nigerians have condemned the act of recruiting youths for thuggery during electioneering. In this report, Eukaria Ubu takes a look at the consequences of engaging the youths as tools for causing mayhem during elections.
Over the years, since the enthronement of democracy in the country, as elections draw near and campaigns gather momentum, the political sphere becomes a market where political jobbers display and sell their wares. Following the electoral process of party primaries and emergence of standard bearers, candidates attract supporters as well as political enemies. As a result, some contestants and their political godfathers enlist youngsters they intend using as thugs on election days. The thugs are employed only to cause commotion and disrupt the electoral process. Oftentimes, these boys are equipped with leather weapons to unleash harm on anyone who tries stopping them from snatching ballot boxes and other sensitive election materials. Sometimes they clash with thugs of other political opponents who may be equipped with more sophisticated weapons, and this sometimes leads to injuries and loss of lives of innocent voters.
The first question a youth should ask himself is this: that man is using you as talk. Where are his own children? Where are his first and second cousins? Where are his own relations? Those people that are dear to him, can he use them as talks?
Politicians that usually encourage you or employ you to be their talks don't have issues with your opponent at the top. So if you allow yourself to be used as talks, and at the end of the day you die, it's your loss.
It is unfortunate, the situation that youths are being used, but I do not see that to continue trend, because I believe that youths are beginning to be more aware. Because if you look at the situation in the country, even those that are not youths will equally believe that most of the promises given to the citizens entirely have failed in all the promises.
Do these youths know the implications of what they do?
Electoral thuggery is an offense because it involves taking away what does not belong to you in order to achieve an aim that is not just.
When they assume position, do they remember you again? The answer is no. They don't believe you are good for anything. In fact, when lucrative positions come, they wouldn't want to put you there because they know that if they put you in a good position where you will earn good salary or good remuneration, you will no more agree to use that stuff.
It is the view of many that it is high time Nigerian youths realize that the path of political thuggery leads to doom. Hence, the youths must say no to political thuggery, even as the 2023 general elections draw near. In Enugu, Ikeria, NTA News.
We'll take a break here. Panorama continues in just a moment. Just stay with us. Since 16th of June every year is set aside as a National Day of the African Child. This is in commemoration of children killed protesting in Soweto in 1976 about the inferior quality of their education and demand their right to be taught in their own language. Hundreds of them were shot down, and in 2 weeks of protests that followed, more than 100 people were killed and more than 4,000 injured. Here is a report. It all started in June 16, 1971, when the more than 20,000 South African students in the town of Soweto took to the streets, demanding to be taught in their own local language. Armed police officers responded by murdering hundreds of protesters. Respondents speak on the significance of celebration.
Many players today benefited from free education. If they've given people free education, the African child will benefit. If there's free medical here, the African child will benefit. And again, it goes to the family. Because of the way children are brought up.
It's the theme of this year's celebration as eliminating harmful practices affecting children, progress on policy and practice since 2013. Respondents are of the view that policymakers need to do more.
The bedrock of society, they are the people who foresee to succeed the present generation. And in terms of their welfare, there's nothing to write home about. Against the backdrop of the underdevelopment in Africa.
Some other speakers lament the current state of the African child and call for urgent response.
We have laws of children, about their welfare and everything, but these things are that most of them just in book, they are not being implemented.
However, respondents used the occasion of the commemoration of the Day of the African Child to call for concerted efforts towards alleviating the plight of the African child by bringing on board policies that will change their narrative. And of course, that report forms a basis of discussion this morning in Panorama. I have with me in the studios Chim Funanya Nando. She is a lawyer and the founder of We Are for the Child Foundation. Good to welcome you to.
Thank you very much.
All right, I'm sure you saw that report. The Day of the African Child was celebrated years ago. Now let's look at your assessment of the protection of the rights and welfare of the African child.
Okay, I'll definitely say that there's still a lot of work to be done. You know, a walk down memory lane, as you all mentioned, will take us back to that fateful day in Soweto when children died for their rights, fighting for their rights. And, you know, when we take it back fast forward to 2022, there's still a lot of work to do. But thank God for days like this, the spotlight is on the African child and more awareness is being brought to this vulnerable group. So there's more work to do. That would be my assessment of the welfare of the African child.
Okay, looking at this year's theme, which is anchored on eliminating harmful practices affecting children, do you think it's apt?
I think it is. One thing that we have to realize is that, like I said, is the day of the African child is a day to not just bring to remembrance what happened in Soweto, but also to remind stakeholders, remind the government, remind NGOs, remind individuals, have discussions like this, that there is a lot of work to be done, especially in this year's theme, harmful practices against children, female genital mutilation, such practices that, people still think it doesn't happen, but it actually still happens in the villages. When we have meetings like this, conversations like this, people are like, okay, there's still more work to be done. This is still happening. We have to do something about it.
Okay, yours is an organization that sees perfectly everything concerning children. What do you think is still left undone in terms of prioritizing the welfare of children?
Something left undone that is also a burden, that has been a recent burden to me, is education. A few weeks ago, I noticed that so many children in Enugu State, for example, are not going to school. Children are not going to school in the state schools. But children that are going to private schools are still attending schools. But what happens to those children? When children are not educated, that's a right that you're depriving them of. That's what the Day of the African Child is all about. That's why those children died anyway. So that is a lot of work done. Education is an aspect, or is a sector in Nigeria that nothing is happening towards. Even the budget, less than 10% of the annual budget is given to this sector, meaning that we don't even see this priority. Yes.
Okay, in spite of all efforts, you are aware that government at all levels, NGOs, both in and outside the country, are really doing a lot to get children off the streets, and yet more children are still on the streets. What do you think is wrong that should be corrected?
I think a huge factor would be the insecurity as well. When you think about northern Nigeria, I think statistics show that since 2020, over 7,000 children or 700 children have been abducted for ransom. That's the reason people are in school, out in the streets. Another reason it could be the hidden costs of education. The state government, universal basic education, school fees is free, but then when you pay desk, you're paying for room, you're paying for all these little things that are hidden, school fees, parents, teacher funds and fees, and all these hidden costs. A mother that is just a petty trader cannot afford to pay that for her 5 children. Yes, I'm so sorry. There was another example. I remember some of my neighbors, they came to me and said that, hey, they need to write common entrance, but they've been asked to 4-5. 4-5 might seem like very little, but her mom could not afford. She has 7 children. She can't afford it for her children. So I had to support in that aspect. So that's why you find kids in the street. They have to help their parents to make the money if they have to be in school.
Okay, Barrister, your final words on ensuring protection of rights of the children.
I think that we need to understand that, beyond just saying and singing this, that the children are the future of tomorrow, or the leaders of tomorrow. If we invest in our children, our future is secure. If we can invest in these children, like the fact that we are not treating them as priority, that's a problem, because in the future we will pay the price for what we are doing now. So yes, that's my final words. I'm very happy about this day, the African Day of the Child, the Day of the African Child, and I hope it sheds more light to what children are going through.
Before I let you go, Barrister, who has the duty to actually take care of those children, and who is not doing what he or she ought to do?
Like I told you, everybody must be involved in raising a child. The children that came to me, their mom is a petty trader close to my house. Why did I care? Because it's my duty too. If those children don't go to school and they turn out to be prostitutes or thieves, I will be affected one day. So everybody is responsible. No one should just look and not care because their children are in private schools or they're financially secure. Everybody must be involved. And ultimately, the government is for the people. We elected you there. You have to care for the people that put you there and their children. So I would say that we are all in this together, but governments, they are major, they have a major stake in this one too. Thank you.
Okay, Barrister, thank you so much for your time, Panorama, today. We really appreciate it coming.
Yeah,
thank you so much.
Thank you.
And of course, I've been discussing with Barrister Chim from Nayawando. She is a lawyer and founder of We Are for the Child Foundation. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
And of course, moving on, the federal government is committed to ensuring that all ongoing federal road projects in Akwa Ibom State are delivered before the end of 2023. At the inspection of the federal roads project in Akwa Ibom State, a team from the Minister of Works and Housing insists that the government will not hesitate to blacklist any contractor who fails to meet government expectations on job delivery. Clement Barikoi now reports.
In Akwa Ibom State, the team first inspected the Calabar to Federal Highway, where it expresses displeasure over the absence of one of the contractors.
The contractor that is not there now is CCC, and we express our disappointment that they are not being there, and they promise that they will, as soon as they receive payment, they will establish their base and start work.
At section 4 of the West Road covering Ona, Eket and Oram, work on the remaining portions including the bridge has reached 90% completion, with the contractor promising to deliver in 8 weeks. The situation at the section 3A of the East-West Road was not different. Work on the 100 meters and 160 meters bridges are nearing completion, though it has been put on hold pending the release of funds.
We are getting it on board NMPC tax credit, but as we speak now, it's not part of it, but we hope it will be part of it.
NTA News gathered that the East-West Road has been handed over to the Federal Ministry of Works for effective supervision and completion. Clement Barikui, NTA News.
Up next is Sport Update with Cynthia Ogun.
Ahead of their 2022 Africa Women Cup of Nations billed for Morocco in July, Super Falcons striker Asishat Oshuala had made it clear that the Super Falcons are ready to go all out to pick the ticket for the 2023 FIFA World Cup. According to the former Rivers Angels striker, the players in camp are poised to do the country proud in Morocco.
The primary aim to qualify for the World Cup and then also possibly to win the tournament. It's one of the goals we have going into this tournament as a team.
Still on football, 6 matches will be played Sunday as the Nigeria Professional Football League enters March Day 34. Dakar FC will welcome Akwa United as Kwara take on Sunshine Stars. Other games will see relegation struggle inside MFM FC slug it out with Aimba as second place Plateau United take on Gumbi United in Jos. Into athletics, Nigeria's track sensation Toby Amusan has continued to make headlines with the recent coming at the Paris Diamond League, where she won the women's 100 meters hurdle, breaking her previous Africa record. Running a time of 12.41 seconds, the athlete was way ahead in her race, getting to the line clear winner to shave off 100 from her previous Africa record. And finally, 4-time Grand Slam champion Naomi Osaka has withdrawn from this year's Wimbledon following an Achilles injury she suffered since she last played at the French Open. The 24-year-old Osaka, who had been on rehab, had previously admitted she wasn't sure if she will be able to participate at the event. With Sports Update, Cynthia Ogun, NTA News.
And that's it in Panorama from the NTA Enugu Network Center. We thank you so much for being a part of it. Remember to join the NTA as we stand against rape and rapists. Do have a lovely day.